Hi, this is part 3 of marriage counseling or working on relationships. I wanted to cover today some myths in marriage, and then also I wanted to look at what love really is. I'm trying to define love. It's a tough thing to do. But first, let's look at some of the common myths in marriage, some of the things that people think are going to happen and don't happen. And anyway, number one, let's dive right in. Number one, unspoken rules, which are often unspoken roles. Some of the unspoken rules in marriage, like things we don't talk about, we just assume. And it usually has to do with the roles that we have in marriage. And so, for example, obviously, the husband's going to take out the trash. Obviously, the wife's going to do the laundry. We're just going to assume that if the children have a doctor's appointment, the wife's the one that's going to take them, obviously. These are some of the unspoken rules and unspoken roles we have in marriage that begin to cause some friction, begin to cause some problems. The assumptions that we make, things that are, that's the way it's always in my house growing up, so it's got to be the way it's going to be. Those are things we need to talk about. Those things we need to define. They're probably going to change from what we were thinking to where we need to go to make it work right for us. Myth number 2. Myth 2 and 3 kind of go together, but number 2 is everything good will get better. All the passion that we have, the love that we have, the time together, all the good things are going to get better and better and better as we're married. And that's not always the case. There's going to be some bumps in the road. Counterwise, I think the flip side of that is, well, as we get married and as we grow together, everything bad will disappear. The problems that we have or little things that we have to try to mesh our lives together, well, they'll just start to work themselves out. And they don't work themselves out. They tend to become more of a problem. I kind of look at it more like a thorn or maybe a little splinter that we get in our finger. It doesn't bother us too bad maybe at first, and maybe it doesn't bother us for the first day or so, but after 2, 3, 4 days, all of a sudden it's becoming a problem, and your finger's infected, and it's all red, and it hurts, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Bad things don't just get better. We need to deal with them, fix them, before they become a bigger problem. Myth number 4 is my spouse should make me whole. We use that phrase. I think we get it from Hollywood a lot, and we kind of use it almost in jest, I think, in our culture today. But, oh, you complete me. But there's that understanding or that myth that somehow all my shortcomings my spouse will just pick up on. And we make each other complete, and we make each other whole and together. Well, over time, that tends to be the case as we look back. But if we go in with that mindset, we're going to have some real problems, because our spouse is going to say, I'm not fixing that. You fix that. It's your problem. You need to change that. The other side of things I wanted to look at today was trying to define the topic of love. That's such a tough thing to put some words into. I think if I asked 10 people to define love, I'd probably get 10 different answers. But just for a moment here, and for the sake of argument, I'm going to use some thoughts. Both the myths that I gave you today and the definition of love, I got from some marriage information a number of years ago from Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott. This is some of their marriage information they gave in marriage counseling probably 10, 15 years ago, in some of their books and some things we used here at church a number of years ago. And so just to give credit, this is some of their information that I use in my marriage counseling. Love defined, and I have a triangle. It'll be there on the video for you to look at there, but a triangle to try to define what love is. And the one side of that triangle is passion. That's the immediate attraction we have to each other. That's the touching, the kissing, the hugging. We want to be together because of the passion in our relationship. And so that's that mutual attraction. There may be other people that say, oh, you two would be perfect together. And we're like, no, the attraction's not there. The passion is not there. The other side of that triangle is intimacy. That's the emotional side of love. We probably use that more in a sexual reference today, but it's really the emotional side of love. It's the time we spend together. It's learning to listen to one another. The intimate relationship begins to build until we start to finish each other's sentences, know what the other one wants. We understand what they're saying even when they don't say it. All of those things that we struggle with at the beginning grow as our intimacy grows. And so a loving relationship, what makes my relationship, and I'm talking about a relationship between spouses, what makes that relationship so much different than a relationship I might have with a friend or a coworker? Well, first, there's passion. We should be attracted, of course, to that person that's our spouse. And then the second part of that is intimacy. We're going to grow together in that relationship. And then the third is commitment. It's a commitment. The Bible talks a lot about that. Culture does not talk a lot about that. But the Bible talks a lot about commitment. That's the willful side of love. Love is a decision. Gary Smalley uses that phrase a lot in his books and in his talks. Love is a decision. We willfully decide, this is the person I'm with. This is the person I'm committed to. No matter what may come, no matter what problems come, no matter how age affects us, no matter how life treats us, I'm committed to this person. And that's a decision we make. It's really the part of it we have the most control over. We can build on that. We can make some decisions on that. Too many people today check out. They check out of their marriage. They decide they're no longer committed. We like to use the phrase today in our culture, we've fallen out of love. Commitment is so much more than that and so much beyond that. I'm sure I'll have some more information to share with you at a later date, but at this point, I have part 1, part 2, part 3. I hope they're helpful. They're short videos. You can sit down and watch them real quick. It's something you can watch while you're eating a bowl of cereal or drinking a cup of coffee. Anything longer than that, I could have put all these in one long one, but then you see something that's 35, 40 minutes long and people go, well, I'll have to schedule time for that. I try to make them short and sweet so we can kind of look at them as time allows, and I hope they're helpful to you as well. I'll add more information as I can. You can go to the website and download all of the information. It's best found at my personal website, redeemedpreaching.org or redeemedpreaching.com, either one. And you can go there, you can look at the videos, you can download all my papers, all my notes and so forth on that as well. Thank you. Have a great day.